A very good morning to all of you. In my today's video, I am presenting 20 multiple choice questions that were asked to you in your second midterm examination for the subject programming for problem solving. So let's start the discussion. Question number one, what will be the output of the following program? Void main and so on. So in this program, you are given a program code and you have to find what output this program will print. So you are given four options. Out of these four options, you have to choose one. So let's start. This is a character pointer p. As all of you know what character pointer p indicates. Character pointer p declares a pointer p that points to some character value. Similarly, if you are having int asterisk p, in that case that is a pointer to some integer value. Okay, so every pointer, whether it is of it is a pointer to character, or it is a pointer to integer, or it is a pointer to float, that always takes is size equal to size of integer in the memory. And suppose you are working on 16-bit compiler, so in that case compiler will store 2 bytes for every integer. So if p is a pointer, then p will store the address of some character here. So size of p, size of will represent the size of address that is stored in p. So that is an integer value, and an integer value in this problem will take 2 bytes. So size of p will be 2. Okay. Similarly, you can find the size of asterisk p. So what asterisk p indicate? Asterisk p indicates the value stored at address indicated by p. As we know, the value that is stored at address indicated by p is a character value, and every character take 1 byte. So size of asterisk p will be 1. So according to this, our option that is correct is 1 2. Okay, so our output will be 1 2. Let's move to the second question. Question number 2 is, what is the difference between structure and union? So out of these 4 points, you have to find what is the difference between structure and union. So first point is, we can define function within structure but not within a union. So this is a wrong statement, because in C programming we can never define function within structure. This feature is possible only in case of C++. Second point is, we can define function within a union. Again the same question, so this is also wrong. So we cannot define function within union also. Third option is the way memory is allocated. Yes, this is correct. Structure and union differs in the way the memory is allocated, because in case of structure, the total memory is equal to the sum of all the member elements of the structure, while in case of union, the total memory allocated to the union is equal to the size of the elements that is having maximum size. Okay, or maximum data type, maximum size data type. So last option is, there is no difference, so that is a wrong option. So correct answer was the way memory is allocated, so that is your third option. So you can see this is the correct answer for you. So we can move to the question number 3. So question number 3 is, which function is used to read an integer from a file? So out of these 4 options, you can see that get w is the answer, because it is used to read an integer from a file. Rest of the option, they are either used to read characters, or they are used for writing the integers. Okay, so correct option is get w. So next question is question number 4. What is the output that this function will return? So consider the following recursive function fun x comma y. What is the value of fun 4 comma 3? So that is a recursive function, and out of these 4 options, you have to choose one. So let's start. The first call will be for fun 4 comma 3. So it is fun 4 comma 3. As you can see, a value of x will be 4, value of y will be 3, and because x is not equal to 0, so the program control will execute the else part. So in else part, again you have to make a recursive call fun x minus 1, that is 4 minus 1, that is 3, and comma x plus y will be 4 plus 3, that is 7. So there will be call for fun 3 comma 4 plus 3, so it is equivalent to fun 3 comma 7. So we can adjust it as fun 3 comma 7. So now what we can do, again we can see there is a recursive call for this function also. 3 comma 7, x is 3 now and y is 7. So again x is not equal to 0, so you will again recursively call the code. So fun x minus 1, that is fun 3 minus 1 2, and x plus y and 3 plus 7, these will be the parameter during these calls. Okay, so that is equivalent to fun 2 comma 10. Now we will make a call for fun 2 comma 10, so that is equivalent to uh, again you can say x will be 2 here and y will be 10 here. Okay, so again x is not equal to 0, so else part will execute, and you have to write the call for fun. 2 minus 1 is 1 and x plus y is 12. Okay, so it will be the call fun 1 comma 12. Again x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 12, x is not equal to 0, so again we will execute the else part. So fun 0 comma 1 plus 12, so that is fun 0 comma 13. So now x is equal to 0, y equal to 13, and if x is equal to 0, then it will return y. So y is 13, so it will return value 13. So 13 is the correct answer. So let's move to the question number 5. Question number 5 is recursive problems are implemented by queue, stack, linked list, or strings. So answer is stack, because every function call is possible with the help of stacks. So during the function call, when control is transferred from calling function to called functions, so some parameters such as local parameters and return address in the calling function, they are stored on the stack. So it is the system stack that works in background. So we can execute recursive problems with the help of stacks, because recursive problems are based on calling functions. So correct answer is stack. Next, question number 6 is which preprocessor directive is used to end the scope of if def. So correct answer is and if, hash and if, because if and def and hash if, they are just similar to hash if def. Okay, so to closing hash if def, we use hash and if. So that is an example of conditional compilation. Okay, what is the right way to initialization array? So right way is first one, because every array use subscript. Okay, so there is no option other than first, where we have used this subscript operator. So first one is the correct answer. What will be the output of the following program code? In this program code, you can say we have declared a two-dimensional array whose first dimension is 2, second dimension is 3. So size of this array will be 2 into 3, that is equal to 6. So it can store 6 element, but during the assignments we have provided only 5 elements. So first 5 elements will take value from this set 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, and the element that is remained, that will take a value as 0. Okay, so you can see, so memory allocation will be like this one, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 0, and you have to find the output of this code. So as you can see, so our code can be written in this way also. So value of I will start from 0 and it will be updated up to 1. So when value of I is 0, j value will execute 3 times. For j equal to 0, j equal to 1, j equal to 2. Similarly, when a value of I will become 1, so again value of j will vary from 0 to 2. So there will be 6 calls for printf. So when I is 0, j is 0, it will print a00, that is 2. And similarly, it can print 4, 6, 7, 8, 0 in the next iterations. Okay, so correct answer is 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 0. Question number 9. What is the purpose of the function ftell? So function ftell is used to return the current byte position in a file. Okay, so other options: to open a file we use fopen, to write an integer into a file we use putw, to read a character from a file we use getc or fgetc. Okay, so these are correct output is to return current byte position in a file. Question number 10. How long this following loop runs? For x equal to 0, x equal to 3, x plus plus. So you can say this for x equal to 0, x equal to 3, x plus plus, in this test expression is using the expression x equal to 3, says that is an assignment expression. So during this assignment, value 3 will be allocated to x. So this expression will behave like 3 is placed here. So 3 is a non-zero integer, so this condition will always remain satisfied. Okay, and this loop will execute infinite times. So correct answer is third option, that is forever. Now we will move to next question. What will be the output of the following program? This is a very simple question. It has used a do while loop. So before the execution of the do while loop start, value of x is initialized to 15. So what are the steps? Steps is execution of main function start. Second, x becomes 15. Execution of body of do while loop start. It will print value of x, that is 15. Value of x plus plus statement will increment the value of x by 1, so it will become 16. So now condition will be checked, 16 less than equal to 10. So condition is false, condition is not satisfied, and the program control goes out of the do while loop and program will terminate after that. So correct output is 50. Question number 12. The continuous statement cannot be used with for, switch, do while, or while. So remember, continuous statement always works with loops. So switch is not an example of loops. So switch is the correct answer for this. So we will move to next question. Question number 13. Which keyword can be used for coming out of a recursion? So when you want to come out of recursion, you have to use this return statement. So other statement like break, exit. Break is used to come out of a loop. Exit is used to terminate the complete program. It will return the control to the operating system, and both return and break cannot be used to come out of recursion. Only return is sufficient. Okay, so correct answer is first one. Next question is question number 14. What will strcmp function do? Compare the first n characters? No. Compare the strings? Yes. This is the correct answer. strcmp function makes a comparison between two strings. If two strings are equal, in that case it will return 0. What will be the output of the following program? Void main int is equal to 7. So in this problem, you can see first statement is integer equal to 7, a will become 7. Second, integer asterisk p equal to ampersand of a. Here a pointer p has been declared, and it stores the address of some integer, that is a. So int asterisk q equal to ampersand p. So q is a pointer to pointer, so it stores the address of pointer p. Next is asterisk q equal to 10. So what asterisk q is equivalent to? So you can replace q by address of p, because q stores the address of p. So remember, this asterisk is dereferencing operator, and ampersand is address of operator. So they will cancel out each other. Okay, they will nullify the effect of each other. So this statement will equivalent to asterisk p. So now p can be replaced by address of a, because it stores the address of a. So asterisk ampersand, they will nullify each other. So you will get a only. It means asterisk q is equivalent to a. Both are referring to same memory locations. So if you make any changes in asterisk q, that value will be updated in a also. Okay, because they are referring to same memory location. So in this program, we are trying to change the value of asterisk q as 10. So in this way, as asterisk q is equivalent to a, so a will become 10. So after that, if you print value of a, so you will get 10 as output. Next question is 16. Which of the following is correct output for the program given below? Here you have declared an array integer a5 equal to 5, 1, 15, 20, 25. So you can see the picture is like this one. So you have taken three variables I, j, and m. I is storing the value of plus a1. So what is a1? That is 1. And as you have used pre-increment operator, so first value of a1 will be incremented. So value of a1 will become 2, and then value of I will be 2. So there will be an updation in value of a1. So you can see the table. So value of a1 will be updated to 2. Okay. Now come to next statement, that is j equal to a1 plus plus. So here you have used post increment operator. So first value of a1 will be assigned to j will become 2. Then value of a1 will be incremented, and value of a1 will become 3 now. So you can see the table, it has been updated to 3. Next is m equal to ai plus plus. M equal to ai plus plus, value of I is 2. So first value of a2 will be assigned to m, then value of I will be incremented after that. So as you can see, m equal to a2, that is equal to 15, and value of I will be incremented by 1. So I equal to 2 plus 1 equal to 3. So you have to display this string. So value of I is 3, value of j is 2, value of n is 15. So they will replace them, and finally these 3, 2 and 15, they will replace this percentage d to form the new string. Okay, so every number will be replaced by their equivalent percentage d. So you will get printf 3 to 15. So correct answer will be 3 to 15, because this printf will send this string to the output screen. Now question number 17, define directive is used to. So has define is used to define macros. So it is simple. So correct answer is define a macro. Question number 18, what will be the output of the following program? In this program, you can see you have declared some numeric data type, num, color. So it contains 3 naming constants. So first red will store 0, green will store 1, and blue will be store 2, because you have not explicitly assigned any value to them. So by default their value will start from 0, and every next value will take the value that is 1 more than the previous value. So red is 0, green is 1, blue equal to 2. So now you have used the type def statement. To type def is used to assign some new name to your defined numerated data types. Okay, so this declared data type nm color will be used with the name my color also. So you can either use nm color, you can or use my color after that. Okay, so my color I'm equal to red, that will store the value 0, because red is the naming constant that is equivalent to integer constant 0. So after that, if you print the value of m, it will display 0. So question number 19, what will be the output of the following program code? In this program code, you are making a recursive call for the main function, and you have used some static variable. As all of you know the property of static variables. Static variables are initialized only once during the first call, and after that in the next calls of the same function, the latest value that was updated in the previous call will be used, and this variable of static type will not be initialized again. Okay, so we can see the execution of this program. So in this program, initially in the first call, static variable var will take the value 7. So then it will print the value 7, and then value of var will be decremented by 1. It will become 6, and if 6, it will again call main. So there will be next call for main. As the variable was static, so the latest value of var was 6. So it will start with the value of var as 6. So it will print value of var. It will not initialize static int var again to 7. So it will start with 6. Okay, so printf percentage d var, so it will display 6, and after that value of var will be decreased by 1. So it will become 6 minus 1 equal to 5, and if 5, it will again call for main, because 5 is a non-zero integer. So condition will remain satisfied. So in the main, again you can see the latest value of var was 5. It will print 5. Value of var will be decremented by 1, so it will become 4. And if 4 is a satisfied condition, so main will execute again. So main print 4. So value of var was 4, so it will display 4. Value of var will become to 3, and if 3, in that case it will again make a call to main function. Similarly, it will make a call to main function again and again until the value becomes 0. So in the next call it will print 3, then print 2, and print 1. So along with that, every time it will print some value, the value of var will be decremented by 1. So finally you can say value of var has now become 0, and if 0 is not a satisfied condition, so in this case main will not execute. So we will stop here, and the printf statement will produce 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 as our output. Okay, last question, what is function? Function is a block of statement that performs some specific task. That is correct. Function is the fundamental modular unit. A function is usually designed to perform a specific task. That is also correct. And function is a block of code that performs a specific task. It has a name and it is reusable. So it is also correct. So all of the above is the correct answer. So with this, I am stopping now. Hope you have understood everything. And if you have any problem, you can write in the comment box. So thank you guys for watching my video. If you want some new video on some new topic from my side, in that case, you can write in the comment box. Definitely, I will make video on that topic also. So I am leaving now. Thanks for watching my video. If you like this video, click on the like button, and if you have not subscribed it yet, then subscribe my channel so that latest update reaches to you immediately. Okay, and also share it maximum with your friends. So thank you so much.